Duet. Got you. All right. I took a little bit of a nap. Yeah, 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. One. Okay, that's working. Oh, we're not getting any. Oh, show monitor. 1 2. Okay, there we go. Here we go. What is up, YouTube? The Line of B show. All right, we might as well just go straight down the road. Is this the one? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Phone call. What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. All right, y'all. We back on this Diddy thing, man. Oh my gracious, dude. How can you get away for so long with all this crazy stuff? I'm gonna say some comments during the, when I don't think I seen this when Diddy Scary recorded me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy out.
Now, allegedly, audio was leaked from Diddy and his son on a phone call while he's doing his lockup in Brooklyn, MDC.
This is
and
crazy.
There's more. Alleged audio leak from Kevin Hart talking about the party footage that was captured of him at one of Diddy's FOs has been released.
I'm staying. This is going to be good.
Now, 𝗖𝗙 has the internet in shambles yesterday, as everyone is saying that 𝗖𝗙 stands for something to do with kids. Now, it was alleged that Diddy instructed his son to get rid of some damning tapes that could further implicate him in more serious crime. Now, stay tuned to this whole entire video so that you don't miss nothing. Now, a man is actually alleging that he got the audio directly from Brooklyn, MDC, and I want you guys' opinion on this. Do you guys feel like this is real audio? A lot of people are saying this definitely sounds like Diddy and his son. Y'all check this out.
Entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about. Did Jay reach out yet? Nah,
Jay-Z?
Ghosting. This motherfucker doing. These things sweet now because I'm in here. It's all good. You about to get out on bail. Hey, yo, check this out. Need you to reach out to the producer. Let these motherfuckers know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie. Alright, Bob. It's just crazy. Everybody out there quiet as a motherfucker. Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still.
Whoever put this tape out, they little underground, they call it a bed. The music, they should have cut that out, man, so you can hear it a little better. But also, I've been doing some research now. I'm not a researcher, and I ain't, if I can find some information out, they said that these words, 𝗖𝗙, the pizza box, 𝗖𝗙 stands for little girls. Hot dog stands for little boys. And they went down a list of all these code words of different things. So my my thinking is get rid of the pizza boxes. Pizza stand for girls, but the boxes is the cages of the little girls. The little girls, the little pizzas is girls. So that's what I got. Now, I don't know how true any of this stuff is. All this stuff is like, everybody say allegedly. You know what I'm saying? I'm just reporting. The only thing I do know is he tried for bail 3 times. The 4th time is the last time he can try it. And he's not getting bail. That should let you know something. Oh, my gracious.
About all these lawsuits, though, ain't none of them G. I ain't worth nothing. Ain't got shit in my name anyway. Don't even worry about it. Bunch of money hungry shit. I'm about to drop a new track this week. Everybody gonna want to hear what my sound like. Man, you're not doing that shit. Y'all need to stay quiet. I can rap though. We got attention right now. Man, just
you need to stay quiet.
I told you to do. And don't forget about the list.
The list? Now, it's crazy, man, that he actually mentioned Jay-Z in that conversation. He like, damn, you heard from Jay-Z? And he like, nah, man, dude is ghosting.
Did Jay reach out yet? Nah.
That's crazy.
Ghosting. This is doing.
Now, it definitely seems like there is trouble on the home front between the two lovers, Diddy and Jay-Z. Now, check out what Kevin Hart had to say about that footage of him being at the FO.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I told Diddy no at first. Diddy paid me a bag, and we did some things that I'm not proud of, and my wife's not proud of. I didn't know he was recording.
Yo! Did Kevin Hart just admit to doing dirty things with Brother Love? Hold on, let me play this back.
Now,
No.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Nah.
I told Diddy no at first. Diddy paid me a bag, and we did some things that I'm not proud of, and my wife's not proud of. I didn't know he was recording.
Man, the internet is in shambles with...
We did some things that I'm not proud of. That doesn't mean that they slept together. That don't mean that. That just means exactly what it says. I did some things that I'm not proud of, and my wife is not proud of. So that don't necessarily mean that he could have just slept with some of the girls that was there. Let me get my little freak on real quick. Just because I don't know. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna wait to the end.
all of this leak audio surfacing. And according to the sources, there's gonna be more leaked audio from Diddy in prison, as well as Kevin Hart. So as soon as I get my hands on that, guys, I will be sure to make sure I upload this. Now, Suge Knight did speak out, man, and say this was actually gonna happen.
Any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, and don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
Now, peeps, it looks like Suge Knight is having a bit of sympathy for Diddy after he was arrested due to several findings by Homeland Security.
I didn't see that coming.
Now, Diddy is facing the worst withdrawals ever seen by an addict. Now, once long-term rivals admits the East Coast and West Coast beef, now the former Death Row CEO appears to have compassion for the imprisoned Diddy.
My man, Suge Knight is doing podcasts from jail. That's crazy.
Let's look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You're
right.
Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Okay. Okay, but you had a guy named Tubby used to work for Interscope. This guy's job was to bring underage girls and girls and have sex with employees and other artists, to the point where his friend got caught up with the same thing. How they raided Puffy House for sex trafficking, they raided his friend house for sex trafficking.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
He never was an artist.
Sure. Can you say something? Can you say something
when you
positive?
look at the whole situation,
Because you only got.
I mean, everything I'm saying is positive. And I'll have a call right back.
All right, Suge, you call back. Do you think? Do you think that Diddy?
Crazy, man.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality, to time, versus what people would do to keep him quiet?
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time. And we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy. So he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he been involved with the FBI of his career. He got powerful people. One of his partners who started his company with drug money, President Obama, got him out of prison. So it's not like he don't have no moves. But I don't think nobody should just count him out. I don't think he gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs. My artist, one of the worst mistakes I could have made was protecting my artist is doing a deal at Interscope. When my artist used to pull up in valet, the Murdoch building, they'd get out, they'd smell like weed. But they clothes smell like weed. When they made it to any office, it would smell like weed. Those guys are my artists.
Sheesh. Now, those Hollywood and music rituals are crazy. It's so scary, man, the amount of things that they actually do in the industry that people are just now finding out about. And I think that's another reason why they're going to try to take Diddy out before he's able to go to trial. Because you already know, man, Diddy is going to be snitching on everybody. And everybody is currently turning their backs against Diddy. So this is definitely going to be a Epstein type of situation. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about this, man. How do y'all feel about all the crazy calls and also, man, all the things they be doing while they hiding in hip hop?
Man, this is, dude, first of all, everybody knows they heard about people saying, oh, she slept with somebody. That's how come she got a record deal, because she can't sing. So she slept with some people to get her deal. This type of talk been going around 10, 20 years ago. Now, men gonna be men, but I didn't think that it was so much gayness. I don't know what else to call it. You know, men, if a man sleep with another man, that's a gay. Undercover brothers. That's the word I was looking for. And Puff, man, golly, with a record label named Bad Boy, I guess you are a bad boy. We never thought that being a bad boy would be sleeping with other men and kids. Somebody said they was low as 9 years old. Come on, man. I don't understand it, man. So look here. I'm gonna get on up out of here. Oh, one of the things I wanted to say was the code words. Everybody knows, everybody's seen the movies. Everybody knows that all the phones in jails is being recorded. Who don't know that? Who don't know this? You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm about to run for president, man. That's what I'm going to do. If y'all vote Mike Cross for president, y'all want the real deal, I'll be like, yo, this is... There is no way. How in the world, how in the hell can you allow somebody to even do a podcast from jail? You in jail. Well, you know, it's his rights, his constitution right. That's the first thing I get rid of if I vote for me for president, because the constitution right doesn't stand too well for today's world. You know, he can make a phone call. Yeah, he can make a phone call, but god dang, boy, he doing a podcast on the phone. Isn't that something wrong with that? That's just my opinion. Hey, next thing you know, Diddy is gonna be locked up for years, and he gonna be doing podcasts on from jail, and everybody gonna want to hear it. Should that happen? I don't know, man. Y'all let me know in the comments, man. Should you be allowed to do a podcast from jail? Man. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out. doing? Podcast from jail. That's one. I'm ready to go work in the backyard, man. Oh, my goodness. So this is what's happening these days, right? What's this? 39 minutes. Carl Thomas. Uh-oh. Okay. What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. Check it out without a doubt now. I'm going to leave a lot of my comments at the end, but, you know, I got to pause and say something every now and then. Carl Thomas, man, was signed to Puffy. There's a lot of artists that are saying things about Puffy way before all this happened, that Puffy was signed artists and the artists their careers never go real far. Like Carl Thomas, for example. Tanya Blunt is on this video right here. Now, I did some dealings, a little bit of dealings with with Carl Thomas, but Tanya Blunt is from my area. Tanya Blunt, when she was in high school, used to be on my back porch with her little band, her little all-girl go-go band, and I had a little practice, little go-go practice spot. You know, I was always into music and stuff, right? And I heard her sing. I was like, man, this girl can sing. She can rip. And she said to me, I told her about the big people that I know, Night Flight Studios. I'm trying to be like everybody else and don't say nobody's name. And I said, I need to introduce you to some serious people. And she said, yeah, but I'm going to wait till I get out of high school and graduate. Once I graduate, then I'm going to start my music career. That's what she said. She didn't say I was going to try to start my music career. She said, I will start my music career once I get out of high school. And she has a brother also, Willie Blunt. He can rip and sing also. They started doing gospel and different things. But anyway, Tanya got signed to Bad Boy Records. And my crew that I was producing with and everything, we produced a couple of songs and everything for Tanya Blunt, Through the Rain and all this stuff. And y'all can look all this stuff up. I ain't trying to make myself look bigger or anything. I'm just telling you like it was. I was there. And next thing you know, Tanya took off to New York. You know, I don't know what happened up there. She was with Bad Boy. She married some dude that I think, you know, they got divorced and all that type of stuff. But now she's remarried and all this. So, and I run into her every now and then. I would love to call her because no matter what, they never said anything about the record deal or how she lost it or what happened and everything. But she came back different. She was like a sad person. Y'all can look Tanya Blunt up. Tanya Blunt was on Sister Act, the #2 and everything. And they're going to show all this. So y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. I'm going to bring you the facts. I am never going to try to sugarcoat anything. Let's just check it out.
Carl Thomas is finally opening up about his days as a bad boy artist. Carl Thomas is finally opening up about his days as a bad boy artist, and his story sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood nightmare. In his prime, Carl Thomas was really that guy. Unbelievable aura, deep, soulful lyrics, and a silky smooth voice. He had it all, and he should have become the next big thing. However, Carl found himself broke and struggling to establish himself as a serious artist under Bad Boy Records. Rumor has it that Diddy kept Carl under a very oppressive deal that left him scrambling for scraps, while Diddy and the label made millions off him. When you add that to the personal tragedies Carl also experienced in his life, it's no surprise that his career fell off the way it did. But did Diddy really drive Carl Thomas crazy by keeping him under his thumb? Would Carl's career have been any different if he never ended up in Diddy's camp? 𝗟𝗓𝗡 Thomas, who we all know as Carl Thomas, was born June 15, 1972, in Aurora, Illinois. Carl started doing music at a young age, and he mostly sang around in small community events around his hometown. He soon joined a singing group called the Formula, and together they continued singing and performing in Chicago. But as time went on, Carl felt an itch to go to the big city and seek better opportunities. So he left his hometown and headed for the glitz and bright lights of New York City and started performing at clubs and open mic nights in small gatherings because, well, you never know who is watching. His efforts paid off eventually because during one of his performances, he caught the eye of award-winning producer Puff Daddy or Diddy and Brother Love. Diddy liked what he heard, and he thought Carl would fit right in with Bad Boy Records. Diddy signed Carl Thomas in 1997, and in many ways, it was the beginning of a new and exciting phase for Carl. Carl had had some not-so-great experiences with record labels before Diddy signed him. For example, he had previously been signed to Epic Records when he was still part of the singing group The Formula, but the group's debut album got shelved and they eventually disbanded. So when Diddy took a liking to him, he was looking forward to something different this time. However, he spent his first 3 years doing backup and background vocals for other more established bad boy artists, including Faith Evans, the Notorious B.I.G., LL Cool J, and Noriega.
I did work with Faith Evans also, more on the live side in concerts and tours and different things. So I was a sound man with Faith, and dang, young, I was trying my best to get close as I could to do music full time, you know, in this music industry, man. So Faith Evans is another person that I did some work with also.
Was also featured on the remix of Been
Never knew
Around
none
the
of this
World
stuff was
as part of a
happening.
new crop of bad boy artists. Behind the scenes, though, Carl was struggling to fit in with the cutthroat energy at Bad Boy. According to him, Diddy made all the artists compete with each other all the time.
What was the atmosphere being in and around Bad Boy? He described you as the Marvin Gaye of Bad Boy at one point.
Yeah, it was really it was a situation that I feel like it was tailor-made for me because it was really competitive. And, you know, I just kind of took everything as competition at that time. You know what I mean? My attitude, you know, performing on shows with different artists is, I love you. Coming to get you.
Yeah. But everybody was like that.
But yeah, back then, that's really, you know, how I felt. And if you've ever been to Daddy's house, at that time, there was constant energy and coming out of every room. You go, you know what I mean, to the left in the A room, and you know, Big was finishing something in there. You go to the little room in the middle, which we call the MIDI room, and got a bunch of guys in there doing things. And you go to Studio B on your right, and you had Stevie J in there just, you know, bang, 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 bang. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. So at that time, everybody wanted to be around that energy, that competitive energy, and they was going for each other's throats. I mean, you know, we in the same crew and everything, but I need to get my record.
I think we can all agree that at this point, it was obvious Carl had a talent that the world needed to see. But Diddy dragged his feet in pushing Carl's career forward. According to an
Stevie J put a video out saying that Puffy is an upstanding citizen, law-abiding, and all that type of stuff, and we are law-abiding citizens. So far, we ain't heard anything else from him since Diddy been 3 strikes on the appeal.
Insider, Carl got broke just waiting for Diddy to finally pay attention to him. They said, I remember when Carl was signed to Bad Boy for a long time and used to hang out with me in Brooklyn. He was broke just from waiting to have his album put out. Carl didn't get his time to shine until 2000, when Diddy finally signed off on the release of his debut single, I Wish, which would go on to top the R&B charts for 6 consecutive weeks. At a time when rap and hip-hop was all the rage, Carl having such a successful debut was pretty impressive. The success also followed his debut album, Emotional, which later got certified platinum with over 1 million sales. The album was also nominated in 3 categories at the 2001 Soul Train Awards. At this point, Carl had already established himself as a strong voice in the R&B scene and the music industry in general.
As far as, Carl Thomas, that name was just built from the streets up, you know what I mean? Because I think the first time that anybody ever got a chance to hear what I sounded like was on the late, great, notorious B.I.G.'s album, Life After Death, a song called The World Is Filled, featuring myself, Too Short, and Puff Daddy. And it's kind of crazy because when people heard my voice, I sound a lot older than I actually am. So they thought I was some old guy with a purple suit on from Vegas. You know what I mean? With the ruffles, with the tuxedo rough shirt on and everything. But, I'm just glad that I was able to just come out and fit right into my own slot and walk in my own shoes, you know what I mean? And it feels real good.
But get this. Diddy only started pushing Carl's career because he didn't have a choice. See, around that time, Diddy started having a bunch of PR crises, starting with the infamous 1999 NYC club shooting. Diddy, his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, and other bad boy artists were out celebrating the upcoming release of rapper Shyne's album. As they were about to leave the club they were at, Diddy accidentally bumped into a guy named Matthew Scar Allen, who was a big-time street guy. It resulted in an altercation, with one of Scar's people throwing money in Diddy's face and everyone pulling out their pew-pews. And before you know it, shots started ringing out. Diddy and J-Lo fled the scene, but were later arrested. However, they got off after Diddy had his lawyers pull some strings to get someone else to take the fall for it. And that person ended up being Shyne, the same artist whose upcoming album was being celebrated that day. After the incident, Diddy and J-Lo's reputations took a big hit, and it was especially bad for Diddy. He tried everything he could to distance himself from it, even changing his name from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy. The PR mess also affected Bad Boy Records, so sales weren't going up as usual. On top of that, Diddy had lost his most profitable artist, Biggie, just a few years prior. So Bad Boy was down bad, and Diddy needed a fresh start. And who better to give him that fresh start than the silky-voiced R&B artist singing about love and deep emotions? So between 2000 and 2001, Carl's career was on a roll. He had another moment in the spotlight when he teamed up with fellow Bad Boy artist Faith Evans for the song Can't Believe. However, you know what they say, the higher you rise, the harder you fall. Carl released his sophomore album, Let's Talk About It, in 2004, 4 years after his debut project. The album was great, but it didn't get the attention it deserved, and the lead singles, She Is and Let's Talk About It, charted poorly. Part of the reason why this second project flopped was that Carl couldn't do as much promotion as he should have due to his brother, 34-year-old 𝗟𝗓𝗓 Evans, passing away. Carl's brother 𝗟𝗓𝗓 was a corrections officer and pastor, and he was Carl's biggest supporter. According to reports, his death was a case of mistaken identity and gang violence. His killer had mistaken him for a member of a rival gang and taken him down before he realized his mistake. After 𝗟𝗓𝗓 passed away, Carl tried to keep up appearances like he was okay, but he just couldn't continue going like that. He didn't just take a break from the music scene. He took a break from everything and even went on a self-discovery journey to South Africa and Europe. However, there were rumors that part of the reasons why Carl went on that trip, apart from mourning his brother, was that he needed space away from Diddy and Bad Boy Records because he was facing too much pressure. Carl was known for his soulful lyrics and deep songs. However, because Diddy was so desperate for a cash cow, he wanted Carl to adopt a more mainstream sound that would appeal to a larger audience and ultimately translate to more sales. Carl didn't want this, though. He wanted to remain true to his roots and make music that he actually felt proud of.
I think the greatest blessing that I've had that is attributed to my longevity is my level of patience. I've never tried to rush anything in my career, and I've always tried to allow things to come to me, just as easy as they leave, to allow them to come just as easy,
This led to tension between him and Diddy, and allegedly, Diddy...
This dude is in a lot of shots with Puffy, man. This dude right here, we the best music. I'm waiting to see what he knows or what he been into.
even started threatening him at some point. So, when Carl returned from his self-discovery trip in 2005, he was finally ready to leave Bad Boy. But Diddy was not ready to let him go, and it turned into this huge dispute between them. People also started speculating that Carl could have been facing some money issues with the label from unpaid royalties. Others felt he was being dropped due to low album sales. However, Carl cleared up the rumors in an interview where he said, "My leaving Bad Boy had nothing to do with dollars and cents, points and percentages, or contractual issues, but it had everything to do with a shift in personal priorities." It's not clear what made Diddy change his mind, but he finally agreed to release Carl from his contract and let him go. Despite all the tension behind the scenes, Carl later came out to explain that although Diddy was reluctant to let him go at first, he later agreed to, and that it was all sunshine and rainbows between them.
I think Bad Boy is just, an elder statesman of the game right now. I mean, we've accomplished everything that there ever was possible to accomplish. A Fortune 500 company isn't going to last 400 years, But it was meant for us to take that experience for what it was. It's funny to me to hear outside opinions of how other people view that situation, and a lot of times the people who talk about it are usually people who weren't close to it at all, or really didn't know anything about how it worked, or there were usually people that knew someone that knew someone that knew someone who worked in the mailroom.
That worked in the mailroom.
That was, but
Right, like a lot of people like to say, when you're signed with Bad Boy, it's like a trap and Diddy uses you or something like that. Do you believe that any of that is true?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I never got into that. You got to understand, when I was on the label, I was very much, like I am still to this day, it's very much family, but I existed in my own microcosm, with my own regime and my own crew, and my own after parties and my own, you know what I mean? I can definitely tell you that it happened to me. Like anything else,
it ain't happened to me.
What you know.
However, fans couldn't help noticing that it looked like Carl was selecting his words carefully, as if he didn't want to say too much to upset Diddy. This further fueled the rumors that Carl and Diddy had a
That girl is fine. Cassidy, you are a beautiful woman, man.
falling out because Diddy wanted to control Carl's career. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Rumors have been swirling around that Carl was blackballed by Diddy after he left Bad Boy because Diddy just couldn't stand the thought of his artists branching out and making a career for themselves. I mean, think about it. Almost every artist that left Bad Boy either had their lives go completely off the rails, got blackballed, or simply disappeared. When Shyne left prison after taking the fall for the 1999 NYC club shooting, he straight up abandoned the music scene and moved back home to become a politician. Then there's Maze, who left Bad Boy because Diddy was pulling some seriously shady business moves that made it difficult Mace to grow as an artist. On top of that, Diddy clamped Mace down in a contract that made it almost impossible for Mace to leave Bad Boy if what he wanted no longer aligned with the label's interests. Mace didn't just go out quietly though. He put Diddy on blast in a now deleted Instagram post for robbing his artists and leaving them with peanuts. Diddy, I heard your Grammy speech about how you are now for the artist and about how the artist must take back control. So I will be the first to take that initiative. If you want to see change, you can make a change today by starting with yourself. Your past business practices knowingly has continued to purposely starve your artist and been extremely unfair to the very same artist that helped you obtain that icon award on the iconic Bad Boy label. For example, you still got my publishing from 245 years ago in which you gave me $20,000. Which makes me never want to work with you as any artist wouldn't after you know someone is robbing you and tarnishing your name when you don't want to comply with his horrendous business model. Ooh, the read, Diddy fired back, calling Mace a fake pastor and saying Maze was the one who owed him money.
This what killed me right here. Mace is saying Puff owe him money. Puff is saying Mace owe him money.
General,
who's lying? You see what I'm saying?
The Mace thing, you know, I did one album with Mace. One album. How much money do you think I owe this guy? One album, and then he became a fake pastor.
That's
and
messed
went
up.
And conned people.
That's messed
and then
up.
y'all gonna let him throw dirt on the God's name? I wrote each and every one. And went and conned people, and then y'all gonna let him throw dirt on the God's name?
The God's name. What? Who's the God? You? Is that you, Puffy? Is that what you trying to say?
I wrote each and every one, and each and everybody could come and step up. Bring your receipts. But I'm not playing. I'm back outside and I'm fighting back for us, and I'm also do a little fighting back for me. You know what I'm saying? So
how much money does, and I'm just throwing this out, how much money does somebody like a Mace owe you? Because the reason I say that,
Mace owes me $3 million. That's facts. I got the receipt.
Second album, you gave money to do a second album, never delivered.
Did the album?
Where does the receipt come from? Who? If he owes you $3 million, where's this receipt coming from? A store? Another? Oh my God! Come on, Puff. These are the lies that I'm trying to pick through and be like, that's a lie. Okay, I'm
Never
keep going. My
delivered,
bad.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna go back and forth with Mace. You know what I'm saying?
But Mace has always insisted that Diddy is just a terrible label boss who mistreats his artists.
I heard that from so many people.
Me and Puff was like, I felt like I did more than I got credit for, more than I got paid for.
He knows.
You felt or did you do that? Because you said felt, like
okay,
feeling.
let's clear that up then.
You saying you feeling that?
No, we're gonna keep it with, because I'm trying to be nice.
Why?
I never got paid what I was worth, and I never got the respect I was worth. So this thing that I got for Puff is more like, you trying to keep me here. I'm not here. All my peers is up here. All my peers are bosses. When it's time, just like somebody raised somebody up, you know they did work with you, they go from your little man to maybe A&R to something else. He just kept trying to keep me right here, like he didn't want me to grow at anything. And to
That's
anybody,
crazy.
is that gonna bother you?
And if word on the street is anything to go by, then Carl also went through the same thing and got blackballed after he left Bad Boy. I mean, sure, he's still doing his thing and making music that connects with his hardcore fans, but it's just not the way it used to be. And if you were there when Carl was at his prime, then you would know that he probably would have had a much more successful career if he wasn't screwed over by his label.
For years, these guys have organized a mass organized effort to slander my name behind the scenes. So every time I say something, you're just seeing my part because their part is behind the scene. But I want you to know I'm up for it. I'm up for it. I'm anointed for it. I'm anointed to dethrone evil.
Because I heard him, and I'm giving you this, and I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, yo.
Girl, Mace isn't holding back one bit in his quest to bring Diddy down a notch or two. I mean, talk about determination. He's like a dog with a bone, and he's not letting go anytime soon. Mace is spilling more tea than ever, claiming Diddy had a seriously shady habit of allegedly pressuring his artists into some, intimate encounters with him. And if they dared to say no, well, according to Mace, Diddy would drop the hammer, booting them from the label and slapping them with a bulletproof NDA faster than you can say scandal. The history between Mace and Diddy, let's just say it's about as friendly as oil and water. And Mace, he's not one to forgive and forget, especially when there's some serious dirt to dish out. These allegations he's throwing around, they're wilder than a rodeo on roller skates. Did Diddy really stoop so low as to pimp out his own artists to other rappers in the industry? It's a plot twist even Hollywood couldn't dream up, so let's break down this tea.
If the devil can use him aggressively, then I want you to know God could use me aggressively.
Y'all, it seems like Mace is on a mission to take Diddy down, no matter what. Seriously, this guy has been relentless when it comes to Diddy, and he's definitely not letting up anytime soon. It almost feels like he was waiting for Cassie to file her lawsuit against Diddy, because since then, he has been going all out against him, and he's been going in hard. Mace, who used to be a part of Bad Boy Records until a huge fallout with Diddy that completely ruined their relationship, has been very vocal about his feelings towards him. For years, Mace has been throwing subtle shade at Diddy, and there have been all these rumors suggesting there's more to their story than meets the eye. I mean, those two have been clashing big time, and it's obvious that whatever's happening between them is super messy. The fallout between the two led to an ongoing public feud, with Mase even dropping a diss track aimed at Diddy and continuing to criticize him on social media. In his diss track, Mase unleashed strong lyrics that unmistakably called out Diddy. One memorable line went, "Ninjas try to starve my kids and give my money to his firstborn. Ninjas never pay the artists, but they love to pay the freaks." A clear reference to Diddy's alleged involvement in unconventional activities that he liked to refer to as freak-offs. What makes this saga even more interesting is that Mase dropped his track in 2022, well over a year before Cassie's lawsuit came out. This got people thinking that maybe Diddy had pressured Mase into similar situations. It's not a wild theory, considering all the past allegations about Diddy having unconventional relationships with other rappers, including some from Bad Boy Records. For those who might not be up to speed, I'm talking about the long-standing rumors that Diddy allegedly had a habit of getting too close and personal with his artists. That's how he and Cassie initially crossed paths when he signed her to Bad Boy Records. There's even talk that the real reason he signed Cassie was because he wanted her under his thumb. With Cassie under his control, she supposedly had no choice but to go along with his advances, even though she wasn't into it, according to her lawsuit. She was just 19 while he was 37, which should have been a huge red flag right there. And to top it off, her music career never really took off once she started dating Diddy. Can you imagine dating your boss, who happens to be one of the biggest and most influential figures in the music industry, and you never become a music superstar? Yeah, something doesn't add up. According to Mase, it's because Diddy deliberately kept Cassie's career under wraps. He didn't want her to become a big deal and slip out of his control. He was determined to keep her under his thumb, even if it meant sabotaging her entire career. Whenever Cassie tried to make moves on her own to advance her career, Diddy couldn't handle it. He allegedly got physical with her because he was furious that she was doing something without his permission. In her lawsuit, she said, after Mr. Combs learned that Ms. Ventura spoke to another music manager at a party in Los Angeles, he became enraged. She had hoped speaking to this manager would allow her to further grow her career and that Mr. Combs would be happy for her, but instead he became extremely angry and pulled her out of the club where the party was taking place. She claimed that he dragged her into the car and proceeded to brutally beat her. Despite trying to curl up and hide in the corner, it was no use as he allegedly stomped on her face. Even his bodyguard at the time, Roger Bonds, couldn't calm the situation.
Roger Bonds, this is the man right here. I like the way he speaks and he tells it like it is. If he don't know nothing about anything, he don't speak on it. This is the man right here. I like the security guards, man. They telling some deep stuff.
She said Diddy continued to assault her when they got home, leaving her throwing up with numerous bruises and welts on her face. Anyway, let's get back to Mase. He and Diddy had their fair share of issues that eventually led to Mase leaving Bad Boy Records. And let me tell you, there was no shortage of bad blood between them. Over the years, Mase has accused Diddy of blackballing him, alleging that Diddy instructed others not to work with him in the industry as a punishment for daring to stand up against him and speak out. But luckily for Mase, he had someone in his corner, and that someone was 50 Cent. 50 Cent and Diddy have had a long-standing beef, and it only intensified over time. Interestingly, the beef started because 50 Cent wanted to collaborate with Diddy, but Diddy wasn't interested. Now, to be fair to Diddy, it wasn't about 50 as a person. According to former G-Unit member Tony Yayo, Diddy was hesitant to sign an artist associated with guns and a gangster image, especially after the death of Biggie Smalls. Tony Yayo said, "We had a meeting with Diddy. It was me and 50, and he took the meeting out of respect. He had deals all over the table. I wasn't saying he was going to take the deal. He might have not, but Diddy didn't want to take the deal because of all the drama. But 50 was the hottest man on the planet. If there was anyone who understood the sting of rejection from Diddy and the struggles of breaking into the industry, it was definitely 50 Cent. So it's no surprise he was quick to lend a hand to Mase. Plus, let's be real, he probably enjoyed the chance to stick it to Diddy by working with an artist that Diddy had gone out of his way to blacklist." In an interview, Mase dropped some hints suggesting that Diddy might indeed be guilty of the allegations against him. He implied that Diddy went to great lengths to turn people against him because he knew Mase had some dirt on him.
I can't blame Puff for this because I can't say he's doing it, but I can't say he's not. So if you look at the people who hate on me, right? They're from Revolt shows. Who run Revolt? The people that had the biggest problems with Mase and write the craziest stuff about Mase come from Revolt. Who run Revolt? I'm still asking y'all, because
Things between Diddy and Maze took a turn for the toxic for a while, but there was a glimmer of hope in 2021 when they briefly reconciled. It seemed like they were on track to mend their relationship. However, that hope was short-lived as things soured once again. Mace then dropped the bombshell that Diddy owed him a significant amount of money. What's surprising is that it wasn't from recent dealings in 2021, but rather from way back in the late 90s and early 2000s when Mace first signed with Bad Boy Records. However, Diddy clapped back at him and claimed that Mace owed him money, not the other way around, and he said, "Mace owes me $3 million, that's facts. I have the receipts." Diddy also had an interview where he claimed that Mace didn't make all that much money while he was at Bad Boy, and that whatever money he thinks that Diddy owes him is imaginary. He even went as far as to refer to Mace as a fake pastor.
You know, I did one album with Mace. One album. How much money do you think I owe this guy? One album? And then he became a fake pastor and went and conned people.
Well, hold on to your hats, folks, because it turns out Mace wasn't the only bad.
I know one thing. Mace had one of the hottest songs that you ever had on your label. Well, I put it to you like, don't get me wrong, Bad Boy had a lot of hot songs, but Mace had one of them, at least.
Boy artist who got the short end of the stick from Diddy. A lot of his former artists have similar stories to tell, and let me tell you, they're not pretty. These stories have been floating around for ages, but they didn't get much attention until now. Enter 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞, one of Diddy's former Bad Boy proteges, who just spilled some scalding
Tanya Blunt, y'all, here we go.
hot tea. She's pointing fingers directly at Diddy, accusing him of mismanaging and essentially destroying her career out of pure spite. And Tanya didn't just talk the talk, she came prepared with receipts, exposing how Diddy allegedly.
When I was finding out the information on Tanya Blunt when she came back home, she looked so sad and everything, and we didn't talk. I didn't straight up just ask her, like, whoa, yo, what happened? I don't want to talk about it. That's the vibe we got. But I know one thing, it was a lot of shady dealings, but I just thought maybe you just wasn't good enough. You know, that's what I'm thinking. You know, sorry, Tanya. Hope you don't see this.
He played a role in burying
She can sing her tail off, though. She is great at a singer. Cut vocals beautifully, man. I've recorded her before and everything, you know.
careers of other artists under the Bad Boy umbrella.
Shout out to Stacey Lattisaw also.
Now, you might think this sounds like some wild accusation,
That's my crew,
but
baby.
honestly, if you've been keeping up with industry gossip, it's not all that surprising. Rumors about Diddy and his label's shady practices have been swirling for ages. People have always been suspicious of the pattern. Bad Boy signs an artist, they release a couple of hits, and then suddenly they disappear without a trace. Tanya spilled the beans, revealing that Diddy puts his artists through the ringer, leaving them so frustrated that they eventually throw in the towel on the whole entertainment biz. And she didn't just talk the talk, she had a list, folks, a list of artists who fell victim to Diddy's shenanigans. According to Mace, the reason these artists were unsuccessful was that they weren't willing to play by Diddy's very weird rules, which, let's just say, included a little bit of hanky-panky. Back in '96, Tanya Blount inked a deal with Bad Boy Records. Can you blame her?
That's a shot from Sister Act 2. I think it was 2 or 3.
Willing to play by Diddy's very weird rules, which, let's just say, included a little bit of hanky-panky. Back in '96, Tanya Blount inked a deal with Bad Boy Records. Can you blame her? Bad Boy was on fire at the time, and signing with them seemed like the golden ticket to success.
Yes.
When Diddy signed her, he had big dreams for Tanya, and things kicked off on an exciting note. She was teamed up with A-list producers and songwriters in the industry, all ready to craft an album that would drop under Bad Boy. And Diddy wasn't just sitting back, he rolled up his sleeves and got to work on producing the album himself. However, the excitement took a nosedive when Diddy's interest in her project died off. Slowly but surely, he started giving it less attention until, well, it vanished from his radar entirely. In an interview with the Washington Post, Tanya spilled the beans, alleging that Diddy completely dropped the ball, letting her project lay dormant for months that eventually stretched into years. As she puts it, there are only so many times that you can update a song. The high hopes of '96 collided with the cold reality of industry dynamics and Diddy's stubborn nature, leaving Tanya's career aspirations hanging in limbo. Tanya is spilling the tea, and it's piping hot. She's not buying into the whole excuse of how Diddy ignored her album. Nope, she's convinced Diddy played her like a fiddle from day one. And guess what? Mace sees some serious deja vu here with what went down with Cassie. It's like history repeating itself, folks. Picture this. Diddy signs Cassie to the label and then sits back, chilling while her career collects dust. And according to Mace, it's because Diddy allegedly had the hots for Tanya, but she wasn't wasn't up for playing along, so what does he do? He dishes out the punishment? Talk about playing dirty. But wait, it gets even crazier. Diddy had Tanya locked in the studio, cranking out tunes left and right like some sort of music-making machine. And get this, none of it was ever gonna see the light of day. She had to suffer through recording 50 to 60 songs that she wasn't vibing with, only for Diddy to pull the plug on her album. Can you imagine the frustration? And here's the gut-wrenching part. Tanya hit rock bottom. The album she poured her heart and soul into was tossed aside like yesterday's news. It was enough to make anyone feel like they were drowning. She's come forward saying she was so fed up with being ignored that she felt like there was no way out. She tried to take matters into her own hands, but thankfully, she's here today to tell her tale. She said, "It was the hardest decision because that was how I was able to provide and take care of my family at the time. It was so hard. It broke me. It really did. I went into therapy with bad thoughts and even attempted to unalive myself. I was in a Dallas hospital on a 72-hour watch. I had taken pills. I decided this is it." Fast forward to the early 2000s, and Tanya found herself dropped by the label without even a whisper of her album hitting the shelves. Can you imagine the disappointment? It left her so shaken up by her treatment from Diddy that she swore off making music for a whopping 15 years. But hey, guess who came back swinging in 2016? Tanya did, but this time she wasn't flying solo. She teamed up with her hubby and started dropping tunes like there's no tomorrow. But hold on to your hats, folks, because Tanya isn't the only one with a bone to pick with Diddy. Enter Craig Davis, who was once Diddy's golden boy, set to shine bright at Bad Boy Records. But then in true Diddy fashion, he stumbled upon the notorious B.I.G. And just like that, Craig got benched, but not before Diddy pulled a sneaky move and had Craig collab with Biggie on the remix of his hit, Flava in Ya Ear. Now here's where it gets juicy. Mace is spilling the tea, claiming Diddy straight up used Craig to boost Biggie's career. Neither Biggie nor Craig were too keen on doing the remix, but Diddy waved his magic wand of coercion, and next thing you know, they were in the studio. Talk about being caught between a rock and a hard place.
Like on the remix, Flavor in Your Ear, that worked. That was just something I had to do. You know what I'm saying? That's politics. Puff asked me to do it. I did it.
Things between Diddy and Craig got even worse when Craig changed his manager to someone he believed would be better for him. Well, Diddy didn't like this and asked him to fire his manager.
And Craig Mack, they had a good relationship until Craig Mack changed his manager. When Craig Mack changed his manager, Puff didn't like him for whatever reason he didn't. He told Craig, yo, if you don't fire your manager, then you can't work for Bad Boy. So Craig was having problems and issues because he refused to fire his manager.
Craig put his foot down, and let me tell you, it didn't sit too well with Diddy. Things went from bad to worse until, you guessed it, Craig found himself kicked off the roster faster than you can say hit single. But hold on to your hats, because when it comes to Diddy's roster drama, Craig got off easy compared to some. Enter Shine, who got a one-way ticket to the Slammer courtesy of none other than Diddy himself. And I'm not talking figuratively here, folks. Let's rewind to December 1999. Diddy, Shine, and the queen herself, Jennifer Lopez, decided to hit up a New York club. Sounds like the start of a killer night out, right? Wrong. Things took a turn for the chaotic when a spat between Diddy and another clubber spiraled out of control. Tempers flared, and just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, Shine, never one to shy away from a showdown, whipped out a gun and let off a few shots into the air. The result? 3 people nursing injuries, and Shine staring down the barrel of a hefty list of charges. Think assault, reckless endangerment, illegal weapon possession, and attempted murder. That last one didn't stick, but you bet the rest did, landing him 10 years behind bars. But wait, there's more to this twisted tale. Now let's dive into the murky waters of conspiracy and intrigue that surround this whole Shine debacle. Mace is stirring the pot by dropping some bombshells, claiming Diddy left Shine high and dry to save his own hide. And hold on to your hats, folks, because it's about to get even spicier. An eyewitness claimed that she saw both Diddy and Shine packing heat that fateful night. But wait, there's more. An eyewitness and a ballistics whiz threw us all for a loop, suggesting that maybe, just maybe, the injuries weren't Shine's doing at all, which makes us wonder if there could have been a second mystery gunman in the mix. Yep, you read that right. Diddy's name is smack dab in the middle of this whole mess. But here's the twist. While Shine got slapped with a laundry list of charges, including attempted murder, Diddy skated by with just a charge for having a gun stashed in his ride. And guess what? Even those charges got tossed out like yesterday's leftovers. Talk about a night that went from party vibes to a full-blown courtroom drama in the blink of an eye. But here's where it gets really interesting. Not only did Diddy allegedly skimp on the legal firepower for Shine, but rumor has it he threw him right under the bus to shift the heat away from himself. According to whispers from his former bodyguard, Diddy may have even greased a few palms to make sure the trial swung in his favor. Now that's what I call a plot twist.
Those people were testifying they were brought to Puff first, saying that what they saw against Shine, what they saw Shine do. The DA didn't even know those people existed.
Half the people probably weren't even in the club.
Shine said it himself, y'all.
The wild part about this is that Bad Boy Records then dropped Shine when he was in prison. Shine also confirmed that Diddy had betrayed him in a 2020 interview where he said, "Puff apologized. He did apologize to me for that when we met in Paris. He did say that he could have handled it better, but he was under a lot of pressure from the lawyers to throw me under the bus." But Mase doesn't believe that the lawyers had anything to do with Diddy's decision because she thinks that Diddy was just being selfish. Mase had
apologize? You apologize for throwing somebody in jail for 10 years and that's supposed to fly? My bad, man. That was my bad, but I was under a lot of pressure. I did 10 years. That don't sound good to me. That don't sound good at all.
More to say about yet another Diddy drama. This time, it's all about the girl group Danity Kane, and let me tell you, the tea is scalding hot. Picture this, 5 fierce ladies, Andrea, Dawn, D Woods, Shannon, and Aubrey, come together to form a band while they're on the legendary MTV reality show, Making the Band. And who swoops in to sign them after the show? None other than Diddy himself, of course. With his Bad Boy label backing them, everyone's thinking these gals are on the fast track to stardom. I mean, come on, Diddy's got the Midas touch, right? Well, buckle up because things...
This is crazy, man, because I tried out. I tried out for Making of the Band. Yes, I went to New York with my guitar and stood in that long line with all lead guitar players, bass guitar players, drummers, and everything. Making the Band was about making a band, musicians. It wasn't about this artist stuff at first, and then they flipped it to this because it was cheaper, it's easier, you don't have to move all this equipment and everything. So Making of the Band used to be about making a band when it first started out, and they didn't pick me.
Took a wild
facts.
turn.
I'm just telling
Diddy
you the
and Aubrey
true
in
facts.
particular were like oil and water. Aubrey wasn't about to let Diddy boss her around, and let me tell you, Diddy was itching to micromanage every little detail of their lives, right down to their outfits. But Aubrey, oh, she wasn't having any of it. She's the kind of girl who marches to the beat of her own drum, and Diddy just couldn't handle it.
Can I ask a question? What do you want to look like, though? Do you want to look like a playboy?
This is for TV.
Playmate? Do you want to look like you?
I'm done with all of that.
No. What do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you.
What do you want to look like, though?
I'll tell you. I'm not focused on me. I'm focused on what this group should look like and how I should fit in this situation.
You like big hair, though.
I don't like big hair.
Like big hair. You like big hair. You like a lot of makeup and all that.
Actually, I don't.
Puffy
I
doing
don't
that
like
for
big
the
hair.
just for the cameras.
Makeup. I'm very flexible with what you want to do, and I've worked with everything that you've thrown
I'm not seeing the flexibility. You gaming me.
Your hair people came in today and they said this is how it needs to be.
You know what I'm talking about.
Care.
You're pushing your own image, though.
I'm not worried about whether my hair is straight, curly, whatever. I'm not here in a group to have curly, straight, big, makeup, whatever. I'm here in a group to sing with my group, and that is all I care about.
Remember last year when Diddy randomly decided to give his artists back their masters? At the time, he claimed that it was a show of goodwill, saying, "It's just doing the right thing." I think that we as an industry and as a people have to look in the mirror and make a shift forward. It's about evolving, leading by example, and reforming an industry that needs it in a world that needs reform. Hold on to your hats, because we're about to unravel the mystery behind Diddy's sudden act of generosity, returning the masters to his artists. But here's the twist. It's not as straightforward as it seems. Oh no, there's some serious behind-the-scenes drama going on. So Mase, never one to mince words, called out Diddy, claiming he's been holding on to his publishing for a whopping 24 years. And get this, Mase even tried to buy back his publishing from Diddy, offering a cool $2 million after it was originally sold for a measly $20,000. But did Diddy bite? Nope. He basically told Mase to take a hike, suggesting he either match a European offer or wait until he hits the Big 5 Neo. Talk about a power move. But wait, it gets even juicier. Before Diddy handed over those precious masters, he made his artists sign an NDA, aka a hush-hush agreement. Sneaky, right? It seemed like a nice gesture at the time, but now we know better. Those NDAs weren't just about keeping things quiet. They were Diddy's way of covering his tracks. Turns out Diddy had a crystal ball when it came to Cassie's impending lawsuit. He knew what was coming down the pipeline, so what did he do? He played the ultimate PR game, using those NDAs to spin a positive narrative before the storm hit. Talk about a master manipulator pulling the strings behind the scenes. However, some of his former artists could see through his actions and they refused to sign the NDA, and one such person is Aubrey.
And in order to get that, I have to
release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release.
This in the contract.
I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs' music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public.
So that you just got recently.
That's in the contract.
I got it a few months ago when he started doing this.
In the news now?
So what's happening is artists, some of them, not all of them, are being given streaming royalties and ownership back over our publishing on songs that we wrote at a time when you know that you have to stream a song 1 million times to make a cent.
Yeah.
Okay? It's hundreds of dollars. And me as somebody that's a girl's girl, I hit everyone in my group and said, absolutely do not take this deal.
She then claimed that not only would Diddy body shame them, but he also tried to hook up with them and got mad when she turned him down.
Thing you could imagine why somebody would want to fire somebody.
Can you give us a little?
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me. Not talent-wise, but in other areas.
And were other girls doing?
I was the only one that was in those types of positions. He was the hardest person that you can work for, and it was torture. And not the work part of it, but the other stuff. Mind games, like just all the girls were so divided, and the men and the people running it had their hands in it, moving everything. Understand your worth as a woman through the men that I was around, and that was very traumatic. I don't think any of us have healed from that. Diddy would be like, you're not hot anymore, like what happened? You don't have anything, like you don't have any curves. You're looking like you're not looking like, I can't get people to think that you're my good looking person.
Now remember how I said that Diddy was obsessed with controlling them, their looks and all? Well, as it turns out, the reason wasn't because of their public image, but because he was allegedly pimping them out to other men, and he wanted them to look good for the men he was giving them out to, and his former bodyguard, Gene Deal, spilled the tea on this.
Because I heard him, and I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio.
Wow.
And I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, yo, I'm gonna drug their ass off and pick them up and pimp them out to my niggas. He said, I'm gonna drug them out. I'm gonna get them all on drugs, and I'm gonna pimp their ass out to my niggas. And I was like, them somebody kids, and walked out.
Mace's comments have left fans shook AF, and they left comments like, everybody knew how Diddy was twisted. This is the confirmation that we needed. We need people like Mace to expose Puffy. On God, Diddy is a snake, and Mace dragging Diddy or Puff Daddy all over the streets. Puffy has been using black excellence to camouflage nonsense. Expose these people, Mace, always conveniently blaming white people for their problems. Meanwhile, you're doing the worst to your own people. Girl, this is one hot stanking mess, but y'all let me...
See, that's the part that pissed me off when people start throwing in the race card. Why are you throwing in the race card? If a black man is doing all this negativity, so another black man shouldn't stand up and say that what he's doing is wrong? I don't understand that part. Let's leave race out of it and say what you're doing is wrong. Black, white, Chinese, Spanish, I don't care what you are. If you're doing something against somebody else's will, that is wrong.
Know how you feel about Mace exposing Diddy. Do you think more bad boy artists are ever going to speak up against their boss?
That's crazy,
Drop your
man.
thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video.
Shout out to 𝗂𝗎𝗡𝗞, Stacey Lattisaw, Faith Evans. These are all the people that I personally have did work with. And it's funny, man, that people have a talent, a great talent, and they can sing, they can play that piano, they can play an instrument, whatever your great talent is. And then you have a manipulator type person. You know, me, I got a little bit of everything in me, and I can manipulate somebody who is doing wrong. If I know you're doing wrong and I'm sick and tired of you doing wrong, I'm going to manipulate you, and then they see, you know, you caught up in your own web type thing. I try to be a positive person. I want to be telling the truth all the time. I don't want to put myself on any type of pedestal. I done built my own recording studio. I'm working in the yard, in the backyard, building my own stage and dance floor. I'm doing all this by myself. Man, yeah, Mike, man, I'm going to come over and help you. And nobody shows up. Yeah, come on over, man. I can use some help. And you don't show up, you just don't show up. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to push. But I'm never, ever going to do something against somebody's will. Shame on you, Puffy. And I'm going to keep saying that. And I swear to y'all, man, if he gets out of jail on a bond, strike 4, it's something wrong with our system. It is something seriously wrong with our system. You got all this stuff out here. You got all these people saying this stuff about you. And I'm allegedly my foot. Whatever. You got people saying it. I ain't got no proof. They got them tapes. All the proof is on them tapes, and you gonna let them out? Come on, man. Look here. I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out. Woo, I gotta pee. I got to pee. Oh my goodness, these things are long, baby. That one, now we still got 3. What is this? 2 minutes. Okay, yeah, let me use the bathroom. Long crime, baby. Oh, they doing thumbs up as we speak. Let me hit a refresh. Let's get it. That's just fine, because he got twins. What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Okay, this is all his kids. Okay, P. Diddy kids break silence as dad faces sex trafficking charges. Oh my God, man. That's one of the things I can straight up say, man. I am really, really concerned about the kids, man. I mean, I'm wondering what they going through, man, for real. Don't nobody want to believe that your dad has been doing all this. No one wants to believe that your dad is having sex with other men. Nobody want to believe stuff like that. Your father? Come on, man. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy out.
More than a month after their father's arrest, the children of disgraced music producer Sean Diddy Combs are speaking out. In a joint statement posted to social media, 6 of the embattled music mogul's children rallied in support of their dad. The statement posted to Instagram by Combs' son Quincy Brown reads, quote, "The past month has devastated our family. Many have judged both him and us based on accusations, conspiracy theories, and false narratives that have spiraled into absurdity on social media. We stand united, supporting you every step of the way. We hold on to the truth, knowing it will prevail, and nothing will break the strength of our family. We miss you and love you, Dad." Combs' children, Justin Dior, Christian King, Chance, Delilah.
Now, you know good and well they didn't write that. Some PR person wrote it and said, y'all need to put this out. y'all proofread it, and if y'all all agree, we're gonna put this out. Agree. They doing everything they can, man. Oh, I feel so sorry for them. I really feel sorry for the kids, man. All of them.
And Jesse were all listed as collaborators and tagged in the post. The joint statement comes just a day after 5 more lawsuits were filed against Combs, including one from an alleged victim who was just 13 years old at the time of the alleged crime. Since the show of support, it was also revealed Diddy might make an appearance in his son Quincy's upcoming vlog series titled Just a Vlog. The trailer for the show was posted by the Shade Room on Tuesday, featuring footage of the now detained mogul, but also his children. The series, which premieres next week on October 27th, will show the behind the scenes of Diddy's family. It's unclear when the footage was shot, but the series comes nearly a year after Hulu scrapped a reality series about the family in lieu of Cassie's lawsuit that was filed and settled last year. As for Combs, who's been sitting in jail since his arrest in mid-September, he's awaiting trial on criminal counts of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution, and pleaded not guilty to all charges. But this latest show of support from his family is not the first we've seen them united since their father's arrest. Last month, Diddy's children with Kim Porter, Quincy, Christian, and his twin daughters posted a joint statement on social media slamming a book released about their late mother. The book, titled Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side, was penned as Porter's memoir and has even become an Amazon bestseller. The children said in a statement, quote,
"The twins look just like their mother, come to think about it.
We have seen so many hurtful and false rumors circulating about our parents, Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as about our mother's tragic passing, that we feel the need to speak out." They went on further to say claims that our mother wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not. Amazon later removed the book from their store. Combs and Porter dated on and off from 1994.
Wait a minute. If she didn't write a book, how come Amazon removed the book? I don't understand that part. Wait a minute. They saying that the kids are saying that the mother didn't write a book. Make up your mind.
They went on further to say claims that our mother wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not. Amazon later removed the book from their store. Combs and Porter dated on and off from 1994 to 2007, during which their son Christian and twin daughters were born, and Combs helped raise Quincy, who Porter had with singer 𝐵𝐴. Porter died in 2018 at the age of 47. Her cause of death was determined to be pneumonia. Fast forward to 2024, after Diddy's arrest, his family continues to hold a united front even in court. Earlier this month, Combs' children were spotted walking inside a New York City federal courthouse to support their father in his latest court hearing. When Diddy entered the courtroom during his last hearing, the Bad Boy Records founder seemingly beamed with joy over seeing his children and his mother in the gallery, even blowing kisses at them right before they left the courtroom. Combs' sons Justin and Christian have faced their own legal issues, as they have both been named in lawsuits against their father. Justin Combs was named as a defendant in a lawsuit filed by Lil Rod, who alleged Combs' son was involved in his father's sex trafficking venture and solicited prostitutes, underage girls, and sex workers. The suit alleges Justin witnessed his father drugging and sexually assaulting a woman. There is even a picture in the lawsuit of Justin Combs allegedly with an underage girl. As for Christian Combs, he's accused of sexual assault in a suit filed back in April by a woman who worked as a crew member and bartender on a yacht leased by Combs. The woman, Grace Omarcade, alleges Christian pressured her to drink a shot of tequila, and shortly thereafter, he assaulted her. She believed the tequila shot may have been laced with drugs. According to the suit, quote, plaintiff insisted she had to return to the pantry, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Angered, defendant C. Combs forced plaintiff to take another shot. Plaintiff was already feeling the effect of the tequila shots and quickly suspected that the tequila was spiked. Mr. Jones has an audio recording of defendant C. Combs drugging and sexually assaulting plaintiff, end quote. Both Christian and Justin Combs maintain their innocence and deny any wrongdoing. But now, as it'll be months before Diddy gets his day in court, the mogul knows at least 8 people will publicly be on his side, his children and his mother. Let's break this down further with therapist, trauma expert, and author of Stolen Childhoods, Thriving After Abuse, 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞 𝗟𝗓𝗡, it's always so great to see you. You know, a lot of discussion has been kind of surrounding Diddy's children and kind of what they're experiencing as their father still remains behind bars. But what's your reaction to the joint statement that they put out just yesterday?
I wasn't surprised at all. I expected that his children would stand by him. And again, there's so much I don't know or that we don't know about his relationship with his children, but to be able to realize or really understand the charges and the number of people who are saying that he's done these awful things, I think his children, based on what I'm reading in the statement, they're not at a point where they can know or even think that that is something that could be possible. So while it's very sad and I can imagine very complicated, I wasn't surprised.
And does it come to a shock to you at all that the children released this statement specifically at this point in time? I mean, Diddy was arrested about a month ago, more than a month ago at this point, but then they kind of waited a little bit. We saw that joint statement that they had released about kind of slamming the Kim Porter memoir, which they claim was not done by Kim Porter at all, that being their mother. But is it particularly surprising to you at all that they released this joint statement a month after their father was arrested?
Again, I would say no. I think, as time goes on, it seems as though he is experiencing more and more people coming forward. Basically, it feels like he's just in more and more trouble. So, I was thinking about that, and I'm wondering why now? We don't know what he's telling his kids. We don't know what his other supporters are saying, and we don't really know what they're thinking. So one of the things I was thinking about is, are they like desperate? Are they trying to do anything that they can to try to get him out of prison, at least while the charges are pending? These are the things that happen in these type of cases. Sometimes in the beginning, family members, they sort of stay back because they're told not to say anything. I don't know if Diddy's lawyers had said to them, this is the time that we need and want you to start being more open in the public. There's just so many things that we don't know, but I'm not surprised.
And what are your thoughts on what his children, specifically his daughters, his four daughters? We have the youngest one, Love, the twins, Jesse and Delilah, as well as 18-year-old Chance. What are your thoughts on what his daughters could be feeling during this time while their father faces these types of accusations on top of him being in jail, at least for now, for the foreseeable future?
I mean, I imagine that they're feeling scared. They may be horrified at some of the things that they're hearing. And the thing that we have to remember is they're still kids. When you're 17 and 18, you still need your parents. So, I'm thinking to myself, how are they supposed to wrap their head around the idea that their father could be capable of committing such horrific crimes? The other thing that I'm thinking about with them is, what did they think when they saw the video that was released in May with his former girlfriend, Cassie? Like,
what in the world was going through their minds when they saw that video come across a feed? Somebody shared it to them. That should have been one of the first things. I'm almost sure one of their friends or somebody shared it to them. It's not like their father came to them and said, look, I'm going to show y'all this first because I want y'all to know that this happened a long time ago, But he had to come and talk to them, so to speak. It can be 1,000 ways how they caught it, especially the girls, man.
How was that for them to actually see
and you
their
got
father
kids
beating on a woman? So I think that what they're feeling at 17 and 18, and the little one is only 2, so I don't think she's thinking anything. But this is going to be one of those cases, I think, where as time goes on and they get older, they may feel differently about their dad than they do right now.
And then some of his children, they did experience great loss. And when I say some of his children, I'm specifically talking about Christian, aka King Combs, Delilah, Jesse, and even Quincy Brown. They lost their mother years ago to pneumonia, and now Diddy is behind bars. What could they be feeling at this time, knowing that right now it seems like they have lost both parents?
Yeah, this is where I would say to people, we really don't want to judge, because unless you've been in a situation where you've already lost a parent and now you feel like you're losing your other parent, I think in general, people can't really understand what that would be like. So when there's already one parent gone and then you're risking losing the other parent, then people will do anything they can to hold on to the idea that my parent who is still here is a person that I'm aligned with, that I support no matter what people are saying. If they start to show feelings of disbelief, or if they start to actually listen to some of the charges or the allegations, if they start to allow themselves to think it's possible that my father could have done these things, for them, that would be like losing their other parent.
And, as they continue to put on this united front, do you expect that when it comes time for trial, which is slated for May at this time, do you expect Diddy's children to be called as witnesses in the trial, maybe even as character witnesses?
I mean, I can tell you this from having been involved in other high profile cases. I was at the Cosby trial and he had family members there. I'm working on a case right now, very high profile case against a doctor. There's been over 100 charges against him, and his kids and his wife stand by him. I would expect that they will be called to testify as character witnesses. And this could be one of those things, again, where we don't know what they're actually thinking. Maybe they'll want to testify for their father. They may feel mixed about it. We don't know what he's telling his children. So at this point, he probably will need them, or at least some of them, to serve as character witnesses, because there's really nobody else that we're hearing from except his family. They're the only ones at this point that are publicly coming out and saying, we support him, we stand by him. They're saying, we love you, we miss you. So for his lawyer to call them to the stand, it would make sense, because they clearly see their dad very differently than others do.
And Diddy's adult sons have appeared at all of his court hearings so far. His daughters went to the last court hearing, excluding his youngest daughter, Love, who is just a toddler right now. What could it be like for his children to be listening to all the charges and accusations that he faces? Again, this isn't, like he's in court or anything like that for a DUI, not excusing that or anything, but it's like these are very serious charges: RICO, conspiracy, as well as sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. What could it be like for them, who by all accounts, they might believe that he is a great father, a great man, a great person, but then hearing these terrible accusations and these disturbing allegations? What are your thoughts on what it's like
so
for them
sorry
to
for the
kind of be
kids.
in a courtroom listening to all of this?
I
This is
imagine
crazy.
it's devastating. And I can imagine that they have a whole gamut of thoughts and feelings. One second they could think, my dad would never do that. But then as they're sitting in court and hearing things, they could think, oh, it's possible that he did do that, or they could have seen some of what he has done in the past. So this is where, as human beings, our brains are wired in a way that we can let ourselves know the truth about something and then 2 seconds later think, there's no way that my dad would ever do anything like that. And I think the other thing to keep in mind when you're thinking about a predator or someone who's been accused of such horrific crimes, that doesn't mean that there's not another side of this person that could also be caring and compassionate. So it's really very complicated. I can't imagine how they sit in that courtroom and listen to all that. But again, I've seen in other high profile cases where the family members are sitting right behind the defendant and supporting their loved one, even when there's proof. And again, in this particular situation, we know Diddy has a side of him that's very angry. He has a lot of rage. We saw on the
Negative.
video what he did to this woman.
He
So
has a
you
negative
can't
side.
really deny that he doesn't have pathology, but at the same time, they may just find ways to say to themselves, not my dad. My dad would never do anything like that.
And I really cannot not even imagine what they're all kind of going
Yes.
through, especially, my
Yes.
mind always just goes to their daughters in this particular case.
Wow.
But
Didn't I
for
say that
Diddy's
to
adult
daughters?
sons, Justin and Christian Combs, they've previously been named in lawsuits alongside their father. What do you make of that, especially as Diddy, may have allegedly roped his sons into his alleged activities and into his world?
This is a conversation I've been having with colleagues, and this is also a conversation I've had with clients who have been in families where there's crime, where there's sexual assault. I don't know what's happening. What was going on behind the scenes in this family? Were his sons also victims? Were his sons made to think or feel that they had to do certain things because their father said that they had to do it? And I think in time we're going to find more out. We don't really know yet. But the other thing to think about is in families, sometimes what happens is that family members, especially sons and fathers, they will align with their father because they don't want to lose their father's love or respect or caring. So until we hear more from them, we may not know, but it's so complicated. And again, what I would say to people is try not to judge the people in his family because you don't know what you would feel if you were in their situation unless you've been through it.
Yeah, and I think sometimes when Diddy's children post on social media, there is kind of this swift backlash a little bit. But in your opinion, what are your thoughts on the joint statements that they have made? Kind of that, this wall of support that they're holding together. Again, this is their father, so I can completely understand that. But is there any part of you that thinks that this is potentially just a PR move or even a defense strategy to appear supportive of their father, as many of the high-profile faces that we've seen that have been kind of connected to Diddy have said absolutely nothing in support of him?
Yes, I think absolutely 100% this could be partially a strategy that the defense is using. When family members join together, there's an element of support among the family members. So for one or two of them to come forward, that might be too scary. And the other thing that I'm thinking is, in cases like this, what I usually find out later is that there might have been 6 people that came together and made that statement, but 3 or 4 of them will say to me, I didn't really want to do that. I felt like I had to be a part of that joint statement, or I was told that if I don't, X, Y, and Z. So one of the thoughts that I had when I read the statement was, is that actually what all of them are feeling? Or are some of them sitting there going, I wish I wasn't standing here right now and saying this? We don't really know, but I think it's definitely possible that they don't all feel the support that they're conveying in the media.
And you're an expert in trauma. What could the path forward look like for Diddy's children, especially if their father is convicted and or he continues to face the staggering amount of lawsuits that he's facing right now?
I mean, the first word I think of is betrayal trauma, that type of trauma where you have to find a way to come to terms with the idea that, especially if he ends up being found guilty on any of these allegations, like really just sitting there figuring out how to make sense of this person who obviously they have a very close relationship with. What I imagine for the family is that they will, and I don't know if they'll go to therapy, but they certainly will need a lot of support and a lot of time to really figure out, first, how do you come to terms with what's already been put out there? Then if he ends up staying in prison because he's in prison, he's in jail now, what is that going to mean for them in terms of their relationship with their father? I think, again, what's going to happen is they will feel like they lost their father. Even if he's alive and well behind bars, you can't have a normal relationship with a parent when they're not in the public, when they're not out and about living their lives. So I think that there's a long, long road for each of them. And it'll be interesting to see how, sort of like how things evolve with the family members, especially, again, the daughters, because they're still kids. The 2-year-old daughter, she's going to find out stuff way after all this is over. But his teenage daughters, they're developing and they're learning and they're going to figure a lot out in the next 5 to 10 years. So I'm hoping that they get support and that they don't feel like they have to do this by themselves, because it is traumatic to go through what they're going through.
And I did want to just throw this question out to you, Sherry, as well, too. What is it like for children whose father was held in such high regard in a way? Like, sure, a lot of people were intimidated by him and his and the power that he had exuded previously. But what is it like for a billion-dollar music mogul who was, publicly loved and adored by so many people? Again, I say that kind of loosely a little bit. But what is it like for them to kind of see that decline from him being this enamored figure to kind of being a pariah by all accounts?
It's devastating. That in and of itself is such a big loss for them. And again, we've seen this in other cases. Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, this pediatrician that I'm working on in that case. When somebody has such a high stature in society, or they're so well respected, and then we find out all these other things that apparently, allegedly have been going on for decades. It's sort of like when somebody dies suddenly, at first you're just like, wait, what just happened? There's this element of shock and disbelief, and it takes a while to really, wait, this is actually something that could have happened.
Wow.
It did happen. So I think over time, the defenses start to drop, and that's when the real feelings of despair and grief, that's when they really set in. And that's when I think, again, support is so important for people who are going through this. And I don't think we should judge people in that situation. I don't think that we should lash out when they're posting their perspective or their position, because it's what they feel. And I think that we have to give them the time and space to figure out what their opinion is of their father and what to make of all of what's happening.
Well, excellent insight from you, Sherry. I really appreciate your time today. Before we sign you off, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I mean, I would just like to say this is not an uncommon phenomenon. There's a lot of people out here who can relate, even if they don't have high profile parents. There are a lot of people who, as they become adults, find out things about their loved ones or their parents, or find out things that their parents have done to other people. It's devastating, and it's something that we need to keep talking about, because when you think about a case like this, there's so many people who are directly affected, and we're not really talking that much about as kids until, you and I are sitting here now. It's an important topic, and one that I think many people can relate to.
All right, Sherry Botwin, again, thank you so much for your time today. I always appreciate your insight into these.
That's crazy, man. Oh man, I mean, I'm not laughing, but I'm thinking differently. I'm not differently. I don't even know the words to say. I feel sorry for the kids, man. I don't even know how old the oldest one is, but I know that I can tell they teenagers. They still wet behind their ears, all of them. All of them think they grown, no matter how, they got driver's license. One of the things that tripped me out is one of the kids, I can't remember who's who and all this stuff, too much information coming past my ears. He's worried about his Bentley, I think it's a Bentley, his car. Okay, so I could be right. The company is going to repossess the car because he haven't paid the car note, whatever. Dad's in jail. And I'm assuming, since he was talking to his dad, he said, hey, he worrying about the car. He's like, man, all the stuff I'm going through and you worrying about a car? It's almost like you picking this car. Your dad is in jail, dog. Why is the other brother even mentioning this to him? Yeah, ask him about my car, man. They can repossess my car. What can he do to help me get my car back? That's all he thinking about. He ain't thinking about his dad. That shows the youngness is my point. My point is that shows the youngness. They young. They don't understand. They don't have a full understanding of what's going on. So I'm like, oh my God. So it's hitting me. As a kid, an adult kid, the one that think they grown, just because the world says you 21, you're grown, you're adult now. That don't mean you up here as an adult. You're not thinking like an adult. And they thinking like kids. They just rich, grown kids. Now I'm of age, I can drink. Spiking, you can't tell me that your father never ever spiked not one drink when you got thousands of people talking about spiked drinks. Thousands. You can't tell me that he didn't have. You know what? This is for the kids, man. So I feel sorry for him, man. I really, really feel sorry for his kids, man. LL Cool J was saying that they asked LL about what went down, and he said, "Man, I feel sorry for the kids." He went straight there, like, dude, I've been through my PRs. I'm professional at this stuff, and I know how to keep it professional when the camera's on me. It's almost like, hey, everybody knows, especially in that high upper rim, and I'm nowhere near. I got out a long time ago and retired, said, this ain't for me. Maybe I just don't have what it takes to be on that level. I just got out, but I love music. I love the music and creating music. But the drama. I can stay away from the, oh my God, why you can't just do music? So the kids, man, oh my gracious, man. Y'all know, if you got kids and your kids have done, you have a kid that has a friend and they mother and father has did something on this level, forget the stardom. Just did something they had no business doing, man. The kids, oh my God, man. I remember that. I remember having friends being taken off to jail and they mother and father, the kids is just screaming and going berserk. So God, that bring back too many memories, man. So hey, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Y'all pray for the kids. I don't know what's going through their mind, but I'm pretty sure some of them gotta say, Dad, but Dad, what about all these lawsuits? He said that on the tape, the jail thing. What about all these lawsuits? So I really think a lot of people think that the leaked talk that they did over the jail phone or whatever, they think that was AI generated. They think it was bull. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is, man. I think it's pure. I think it's Puffy talking to one of his sons, man, in jail. So that's just my opinion. I really think it's a lot of bull out here. There's a couple of channels that once I find the name out, I'm gonna be like, shame on you, because they tricked me. Clickbait. Watch out for them clickbait channels, man. This is not one of them. I'm just reporting the news and telling you what I know, and and then my feelings. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out. Oh my goodness, these suckers is long, man. I thought it was 2 minutes, and come find out it was 21 minutes. God dang. Oh my gracious, what is this right here? This is, I think, let me see how long this one is. Paul means world. Okay, this 5 minutes. Let's check this bad boy out. 5 minutes. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, my gracious. What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. Check it out, P. Diddy again, y'all. Hey, the baby oil. When they first said something about 1,000 bottles of baby oil, I said it right off the break. I said, that ain't just, you done spiked all these drinks, and we've been hearing about drinks being spiked way before Puffy house even got raided. We've been hearing about spiked drinks way before that. What makes you think you ain't gonna spike the daggone baby oil? I never knew until this stuff came out that you can actually rub something on your skin and that would get you high or change, change you. Basically, I don't know nothing about this stuff. I drink water, baby. I stopped drinking liquor and alcohol and beer and stuff, so I ain't too down with all that stuff. Hey, so y'all hit that subscribe button and hit that bell. Let's check it out.
Diddy doesn't have his private chef, so he's whining about it. So bottom line,
she keep doing that. But I ain't never seen him cry.
Sean Combs is whining about being behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
He's blaming the feds. It's their fault the Cassie video was leaked, which it wasn't leaked by.
If it is their fault, what difference does it make? If they leaked the daggone footage, what difference does it make who leaked it?
By the federal agents. I suspect someone on the Cassie Ventura side may know how it got out, but blaming the victims is the single worst thing he's doing. When you find out what his trial strategy is going to be, that's it. The whole thing is, it's the victim's fault. It was all consensual, and they were either hookers or hoes. That's the defense.
Mark Agnifilo claims he has
I can't wait, dude. I cannot wait to the next leak and I was all over the audio thing, and it's fun. It's funny. It could be like I'm like 90% sure that it was him talking to his son, but that 10% might be AI and all somebody done doctor it up. So no, I'm looking for the next leak of video footage of something that Puffy done did, and it's going to be a rap. It's going to be a complete rap after that.
Interviewed multiple sex workers involved in Diddy's freak-offs, and the consensus is nothing ever seemed non-consensual. 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞 asserts the witnesses say no one was too drunk or too high to understand what they were doing. However, even in the case that victims did agree to participate, the state may argue Combs' exorbitant wealth and extreme power made victims feel like they had no choice but to comply.
They're essentially saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of...
This stupid dude. And this first part of what he about to say, it's like, I'm not helping Puffy. I'm agreeing with you. I don't know why you need so much. Watch this.
Baby oil goes a long way.
The baby oil goes a long
They're
way.
essentially
One bottle.
saying it's a lubricant for an orgy.
I guess. I don't know what you need 1,000. One bottle of baby oil goes a long way. I don't know what you need 1,000 for. I mean, he has a big house. He buys in bulk. I think they have Costco's in every place where he has a home. I mean, have you sat in a parking lot of a Costco and see what people walk out of there with?
Not 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I don't think it was 1,000. I think it was. Let's just say it's a lot. Okay.
Here's the thing that tripped me out, lawyer, Mr. Lawyer. When you get on, on these TV shows and all these podcasts and stuff, you got to stay a lawyer and stop trying to be one of us. You got to stay a lawyer, man. Tell me some. I don't think it was 1,000 baby oil. That's what they reporting. They reported that it was 1,000. How many dildos and stuff? Did they count them? Oh my God, man! Listen to this dude.
In a parking lot of a Costco and see what people walk out of there with?
Not 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I don't think it was 1,000. I think it was. Let's just say it's a lot.
It's a lot.
How did Harvey Levin keep himself from laughing right there? That clip is from our friends at TMZ, and there's a class that they need to offer at law school. It's called Sit Down and Shut Up. Lawyers cannot shut up. They just can't.
They can't.
So why 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞 engaged with Levin, who is also a lawyer? Well, that was just stupid.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was a lawyer, but I can tell the way he's acting. Dude, here's the facts. I'm just presenting them to you.
Okay, there's really not a nice way to say it. But speaking of baby oil,
yes.
Which, by the way, 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞, the allegation it was used as a lubricant at the freak-offs, a euphemistic term, according to prosecutors, for sessions. All right, let's bring it all home here. We can snicker all we want to at Diddy whining behind bars or 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞 sticking his foot in his mouth. But what we're talking about are new and recent charges that Combs and or his staff laced the baby oil with the date drug. These are not my words. These are words coming straight out of a legal document in a civil complaint, one of 6 new complaints filed in the last 48 hours, claiming Combs, quote, particularly fancied, end quote, Rohypnol, the date drug, gamma hydroxybutyrate.
I'm assuming that you can't say, every time I look at one of these, they take the R, I'm going to say R word out. I'm assuming you can't say it on YouTube. I'm not going to test it though.
And would then, quote, commit heinous non-consensual acts of sex, violence, and
see?
It claims that Combs would, quote, secretly spike alcoholic beverages like champagne or lemon drop cocktails with GHB. It goes on and on and on. Now, we've all heard of drinks being laced with GHB, the date drug. But have you ever heard of a bodily lubricant or lotion being laced with GHB or hypnol. I'm going to go straight out to Dr. Bethany Marshall. You know what? We had a good time making crying sounds, or I did. But now I want to talk about what this means. Now, the concept of lacing a body lotion with GHB, that's going to be new to a lot of people. And you say, how does that work? Is that like rubbing a baby aspirin on your arm and expecting your headache to go away? Wait. Think about cannabis oil, all right? Oil infused with the main ingredient of pot. And by all accounts, it works. It's even medicinally prescribed. All those doctors can't be wrong, Dr. Bethany. What do you make of this legal allegation that has emerged in the last 48 hours?
Wow. What make it so bad is he going by the reports, because when he said it wasn't that many, let's just say it was a lot. Come on, dude. You know good and well what was in the report because you the lawyer. You know that the report said 1,000. This is what the report says. Oh, my God, man. I'm going to get on up out of here. I was saying from day one, baby oil, it must be something in that baby oil. They spiking people's drink. So are you making the people put the baby oil on? Then one girl said that he actually started squirting this baby oil on me. You know, I'm like, stop, whatever. You know, why he just squirting the baby oil on me? Because he know what the baby oil going to do to the people. God dang, Puffy, I never even knew you was this crazy. Boy, you sick, man. You sick. I don't care if you found out guilty on all this stuff, man. You was a sick dude because it's too many people saying the same thing. So it had to happen to one of them. Oh, man. I'm going to get on up out of here, man. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out. Hot dog. And then there was two. Let's see how long this one is. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Let's get it. Whatever. Let's get it. What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. Check it out without a doubt. Let's see what this bad boy is all about. We're going to switch gears real quick, man. All of Diddy's leaked videos. Lord have mercy. Leaked. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some leaked real evidence. I ain't talking about, oh my God, you got your boy, 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦. I can't pronounce his name. I ain't even gonna say, oh, whoa. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy
Dangerous
out.
leaks about Diddy, potential consequences and impacts. Recently, dangerous leaks involving the American star Sean Combs, known as Diddy, have made headlines. These leaks include video clips that show him in...
See, this is not a video clip right here. And the dude behind him, Jay-Z, that looked like that could be Photoshopped. You know, the Puff, I don't know, this stuff, man, you could do some good. I do editing. I edit videos all day long. That's what we do. That's what we do here, editing. So I can't say this is 100. You know what I'm saying?
In controversial situations, raising widespread...
That looked 100. That looked 100, but still.
...spread concern among fans and observers. According to a recent report, evidence suggests...
That's still not 100. That's not 100.
Suggests that the leaked videos featuring star Sean Combs, known as Diddy, were leaked by his personal bodyguard.
See, that's a video. That's a picture. I can't go by a picture. That's not enough for me. Not for me. I'm still searching, though. Is that it? Oh, it's still running. Well, that's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah. That I'm looking for something when Cassidy was in that hotel and Diddy came running out with that towel. Who haven't seen that? That's my point I'm making. Who ain't seen that? You know, I want to see some serious video that you know ain't been altered. You know, audio and pictures, man, they can count to give you another you know what I'm saying? But video, real video with audio and everything that look raw. I'm going to get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out. All right, what we got here? What it's 7-2. Okay, we're gonna knock both of these out. Cool. What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. Somebody asked me why I'm so covering all this stuff, man. There has been 3 or 4 occasions that we had did business. We had went up to Bad Boy. We went to, it wasn't called Daddy's house back then. I went to Puffy's recording studio because I don't think, what I heard, I think Daddy's house is not even at the same location that we went to. Puffy went to Howard University, which is the big college that's right in my area. I have done shows and was the sound man on different shows. I worked with a sound company, a big sound company here, and Puffy would do all kinds of stuff, man. I remember the radio station was covering one of Puffy events at Howard University, and Puffy was kirking out, going off on the radio station because they had vans, you know, they got the vans wrapped, you know, with the 93, 95, WKYS, whatever. I can't remember which radio station was out there. But he was like, y'all got these dirty-ass vans down here. Y'all, if this was Death Row, y'all would have washed them things and put them all on the tires. He was kirking out. Puffy was kirking out, man. He was, what make it so bad is, okay, the vans was dirty, but Jesus, they wasn't dirty. They just wasn't washed. They wasn't fresh and shiny and all, but they wasn't dirty. God dang, the way he was going off, that's what these eyes seen. That's what these ears heard. That was way, way back then. And I was like, dude, well, maybe you got to act like that to be up, you know, big time in the music business. You got to go kirk off on every little flaw that goes wrong to make these people do what they supposed to do. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to share those type of stories with y'all way back then. I don't even know. God dang. That had to be over 30 years ago, man. 50, let me see, 50, yeah, 22, 25. Yeah. No, I was about 25, 26. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy out.
This shouldn't be a shock to anybody. And it's 30 years of victims we got to get through. He's been terrorizing the general public for 30 years.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Didn't I just say 30 years? I just said 30, around 30 years ago. And he was just coming up to Bad Boy and everything. I remember he was promoting Mary J. Blige at the Freakniks. In Atlanta, they used to have this thing called the Freakniks. And I think Puffy had something to do with putting that thing together. It was huge.
Facing new allegations of sexual assault from a woman who claims the mogul raped her as payback for something she said about him and a possible connection to the death of another rapper. The accuser's lawyer is here with the details and the suit's shocking and disturbing claims. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. This latest lawsuit filed against Sean Diddy Combs has graphic claims of group sexual assault. So I want to start with that warning. Some of what you are going to hear is very disturbing. The woman, Ashley Parham, claims she was sexually assaulted by Sean Diddy Combs at a home in Contra Costa County, California, back in March of 2018. Parham isn't just suing Combs. She's also suing his former chief of staff, Christina Quorum, who Combs has called his right hand in social media posts in the past. Combs has been adamant in responding to allegations in civil suits that he has never sexually assaulted or sex trafficked anyone. Right now, Combs is in jail in Brooklyn. He's being held without bail as he awaits trial on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges. Parham is also suing a man named Shane Pierce, a Jane Doe and 3 John Does. The suit includes a trigger warning. Parham claims one of those John Does that was there that night in March of 2018 actually claimed to be an undercover cop. We'll have more on that in just a bit.
What?
The suit claims Parham met Shane Pierce at a bar in February of 2018 and that he FaceTimed Sean Combs. The suit states, defendant Shane then showed plaintiff defendant Diddy on his video call, which plaintiff ignored, stating she was not impressed by him knowing defendant Diddy because she believed defendant Diddy had something to do with the murder of rapper 𝗵𝗡 Shakur. The suit goes on to say defendant Diddy heard plaintiff's statement and made a remark that plaintiff would pay for her statement regarding 𝗵𝗡 and overall dismissal of defendant Diddy. Then the next month, Parham's suit says Shane Pierce invited her to his home. On March 23, 2018, defendant Shane invited plaintiff over to his home to assist him with his cancer medications because he stated he was weak and unable to open his medications. Then the suit claims Sean Combs arrived with Christina Quorum, his bodyguard, an unidentified woman, and another man. The suit says defendant Diddy entered the home in a grand, ready-to-party manner. His grandiose entrance was so loud that the dogs upstairs began barking. The suit claims Combs threatened Parham with a knife. The suit states, defendant Diddy then began advancing toward where plaintiff was sitting on defendant Shane's bed with a knife and held it to the right side of plaintiff's face and threatened to give her a, quote, Glasgow smile.
This is not funny, man. But the thing about it is, who would go all out their way to make this stuff up? Who would make this stuff up like this? Man, hey, if none of this stuff is true, if none of it is true, I'm telling you, man, I'm going to be like, wow. Here we go.
In retaliation for her previous statements on the video call. It continues. Defendant 𝐘𝐿 then made a threat to plaintiff that they could ship her off anywhere in the world and that she would never see her family or anyone she knew ever again. Parham claims Combs and Pierce removed her clothes as she was held at knife point, and then Combs took a bottle from a large fanny pack. Defendant Diddy, the suit says, then squirted a bottle of liquid on plaintiff, which placed her in fear that she was being squirted with a chemical substance like acid. Plaintiff soon realized the substance was an oil/lubricant. Plaintiff was squirted with this liquid substance over the entirety of her naked body. What Parham claims happened next is incredibly graphic and violent. The suit claims that Sean Combs sexually assaulted Parham with a television remote control and told her that he could take her and she would never be seen again. Before this happened, Parham claims that Combs and Quorum had tried to force an IUD into her body. She also claims Combs forced her to take a pill that left her body feeling limp. I asked Ariel Mitchell, the lawyer representing Parham, about her claims.
There are multiple ways, including the syringe IUD assault, the television remote, and the several individuals who raped her anally and vaginally. And I think it's important in this situation because we have seen complaints that have been less gruesome, and those people were listed as a John or a Jane Doe. I think it's very important and very courageous and want people to acknowledge somebody to not only say these things happen to them, but say it with their actual name. Anybody can hide behind a pseudonym and say X, Y, and Z happened to me because nobody will ever know it's them. But for her to actually come forward with her real name about her real story, I think we should give some credibility for that alone.
Wow.
Now, Parham claims she was sexually assaulted by the John Doe as well. And when it was over, her lawsuit claims that Combs, Pierce, Quorum, and the John Doe went outside to smoke marijuana and cigarettes. The suit continues. Plaintiff then grabbed a knife from the kitchen and headed to the backyard where the defendants were smoking, as that was the only way to exit the premises onto the street. Plaintiff concealed the knife on her left side as she exited the apartment to the backyard area. The suit goes on. Plaintiff then sat down on a makeshift seat in the backyard when defendant Diddy noticed her presence and remarked that he was surprised she was able to walk because he had given her, quote, enough drugs to take out a horse. I want to thank Upside for sponsoring this episode of Crime
that's
Fix.
crazy.
Upside is a great free app that gets you cash back on things like food and gas. This is not a confusing rewards program. Upside will give you real money back that goes straight into your bank account. Just download the Upside app, click on an offer, and claim it, and pay with your credit or debit card as usual. Upside works at places like Shell, Exxon, 7-Eleven, Taco Bell, KFC. Get an extra 20 between Parham and Combs and her accusing him of raping her, and Combs telling her that it was consensual and that she was a sex worker. And it claims Combs even called his mother, Janice Combs, to persuade Parham not to report the assault. The suit says, defendant Diddy then called his mother in an effort to further convince plaintiff not to report her assault. Defendant Diddy's mother yelled at plaintiff to not hurt her son. Plaintiff told defendant Diddy's mother that her son had violently raped plaintiff. Defendant Diddy's mother, seemingly unfazed by the statement, then continued her demands with plaintiff to take the money being offered and not report the rape to law enforcement. Now, after this, the suit describes voices being raised and Parham actually raising the knife to Sean Combs, even grazing his abdomen with it. The suit claims the John Doe chased after her and a gun was actually fired at one point. The suit says defendant Doe 1, who had now caught up with plaintiff, advised plaintiff that he was an undercover cop. To this day, plaintiff is unsure of the truth or falsity of this statement. Here's Ariel Mitchell on that claim that the John Doe claimed to be an undercover officer.
The one thing that stood out to me through
That's crazy. If an undercover cop, so what was he undercover for? Puffy? I don't know.
this whole thing was the security guard possibly being an undercover agent. It's not unreasonable to think maybe the government had placed a spy, if you will, into that agency. Similar, it makes me go back to thinking about RICO. The RICO laws were for mob bosses and mafiosos. So what did the government do? They sent undercover agents to infiltrate those mafia organizations and collect evidence from the inside. You know, I think we have no idea what the federal government has. If they actually did have federal agents posing undercover and working for Mr. Combs' administration and rising up in that administration, we have no idea what they know, and we won't know until trial time. So I think, you know, while you thought that part out for you, I thought about that as well. But again, we're in a situation where we need to identify those people.
Now, we have no way to know whether there was actually an undercover police officer there that night. No way. But we do know that a neighbor called 911 that night because of noise. The suit says plaintiff informed the neighbor that it was Sean Combs who had raped her and shot at them, but the neighbor was unaware who defendant Diddy was. Shortly thereafter, a sheriff from the Contra Costa Sheriff's Department arrived at the neighbor's home. Plaintiff told the sheriff she had been violently gang raped by defendant Diddy and others, and that she did not have her clothes, phone, purse, car keys, or cell phone. Now, I've contacted the Contra Costa Sheriff's Office about the report made by Ashley Parham. A spokesperson told me in an email, a report was taken on March 23rd, 2018. We take these cases seriously, and detectives thoroughly investigated the accusations. It was later determined the claims were unfounded. Now, I've actually requested a copy of that report from the sheriff's office. Ariel Mitchell said she has tried to request that report as well.
So I have paperwork from her, which is actually a document from the police telling her, the victim, that she could not get a copy of her own police report.
That's crazy.
It says this record is not subject to public disclosure.
What?
And I thought that was weird because I've never heard of a victim who made a report who couldn't get a copy of their own report
that they made.
After we had spoken, they sent me an email saying that the only way they will release the records to me was if I sent them a civil subpoena. To actually filed the case, I have subpoena power, and I will subpoena them those records now.
Oh, I want to see that. I want to see it now.
Now, the suit claims that 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞 contacted her doctor 3 days after the alleged assault because she was concerned that she may have contracted an STD. Ariel Mitchell says 𝗟𝗡𝗡 also went to the ER and had a rape kit performed the following month.
The rape kit was done, I believe, about two and a half weeks after. So the rape kit didn't show anything. They actually did a X-ray and I believe an ultrasound while she was in the hospital as well. So what most people know about the vagina and anus is they do rapidly heal themselves. So the fact that it was that 2 to 3 week delay in between her actually going to the hospital. My issue was if the police were there and you're telling me, if I'm a police officer and somebody's telling me they've been violently gang raped, I don't care who they're saying it's by. The number one thing I'm going to do is call for backup. I'm going to call for an ambulance, emergency services, or I would myself take you to the hospital. I wouldn't just leave you there. So my first issue is why the Contra Costa Sheriff's Department, whoever their responding officer, didn't take her or didn't get any emergency services, because had he done that, the evidence would have been preserved. So there's, I feel like I have a botched police investigation, and then I had somebody who is in shock from a violent gang rape. And even, I think it's a reasonable time because it's people who never get a rape kit done and they just feel shame and they never even try to do anything. She contacted her doctor 3 days after the attack. She said, she got concerned that maybe she had an STD. She was really trying to even come to terms with what had happened to her. And it's like anybody, if this had happened to you, how long would it take you to do whatever the heck you're saying? How would you feel? How would you react? And even right now, you have no idea how you would feel or react because you're not in that situation. You're at home, safe, and you're not facing this type of threat.
Now, the suit says officers from another police department were called to the hospital to take a report while that rape kit was actually being performed. At that time, 𝗟𝗡𝗡 didn't mention Sean Combs' name, according to the suit. I contacted that department to see what happened with that report. At the time of this recording, I have not yet heard back. I also asked Ariel Mitchell about 𝗟𝗡𝗡's claim that Combs told her he assaulted her because of what she had said about the murder of Tupac Shakur.
To me, it wasn't far-fetched. I deal with a lot of celebrities on both sides, be them clients that I represent and be them defendants who I sue against. And one thing about all of them in common is ego. They're all egomaniacs. They're all an egomaniac. That's their main affliction, is their ego. And it did not surprise me. It actually seemed more so than not to be the case, because I know when we're talking about people, especially when you start getting to that A plus level celebrity status, these people have some of the largest egos that you could ever encounter. You can't even fathom the level of ego that they have. So imagine you have defendant Pierce on the phone showing off, how many times has he probably done this parlor trick where he calls Diddy, and Diddy's on the phone and everybody's like, oh my God, it's Diddy on the phone. I mean, imagine yourself, you're at a random bar and they get Diddy on the phone and he's on a FaceTime video. What is going to be the general consensus of the people at that bar? It's going to be jubilation. Oh my God, most people have never even been near a celebrity. So you have that aspect of it all. And then imagine when you're when somebody like Mr. Combs is doing this. He's doing it for attention himself. He enjoys the praise. He enjoys the adoration. All of these A-list celebrities, they feed off their fans. It's like energy they're getting from them. So now you have somebody who is not only not entertained by your presence, is dissing you. Somebody dissed me, Sean Combs.
I never thought of it like that. I never even thought yeah, you're right. She's right.
Combs, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Diddy did, he got a whole song about it. The D, the I, the D, the D, the Y, the D, the I, the D.
It's Diddy.
That spells Diddy did. Are we going to play like we don't know his songs? Are we not going to look how everybody's doing these look backs into all these interviews where he was looking us in our face and telling us about his parties would get him arrested and about his deviant behavior for years. This isn't a secret. This shouldn't be a shock to anybody. And it's 30 years of victims we got to get through. He's been terrorizing the general public for 30 years.
Now, Mitchell says her client felt safe coming forward with Combs behind bars as he awaits trial on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges, but recently became fearful when Combs filed an appeal asking for bail yet again.
Actually, last week when Mr. Combs was still subject to his another bail hearing, she did reach out. We had a conversation about her being concerned that he got out and how, moving forward with her complaint and, what her safety would look like in a world where he was granted bail. I assured her that I see no avenue in any scenario where he's going to be granted bail. They can keep wasting. I think free legal advice from Mr. Combs would be to stop wasting your money on bail hearings. You're not going to get it. Focus, if you want to focus on a case, focus on not only your criminal case, but all these civil cases that you have. Your efforts and your money are better spent there.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Essentially, even when we went there and went to the police and tried to get these reports, and now having to do them through civil subpoena power, that's just what we're left with, and that's fine with me. I'm just ready to get the ball rolling on this. I have other supporting documents that I've received, including medical records and releases from doctors and doctors' notes and other things of that nature that supports everything that my client has said and alleged in her complaint.
This latest suit is now one of more than a dozen civil suits that Sean Combs is facing, accusing him of sexual assault. The first came from Combs' ex, Cassie Ventura, nearly a year ago. Combs settled that lawsuit the next day. So that is the only one of the civil suits that Combs has actually settled. Ventura is victim one in the federal indictment charging Combs with sex trafficking and racketeering. 𝗟𝗓𝗡 is suing Sean Combs for $50 million. But Ariel Mitchell says her client is also open to talking to federal investigators.
My client would love to testify in front of a federal grand jury or even in a grand jury indictment. She would love to explain her story to the federal government because to my understanding, there are supersedes indictments coming down, just like I suspected, which means that more victims will be added as the feds are vetting through these the victims, and most of the victims are coming by way of lawsuit, and their lawsuit has supporting information and documents, which then the federal government then reaches out to them and has an interview with them and reviews their documents and then determines whether or not there is enough that would meet the very high burden of reasonable doubt. So civil court, I try to explain this to people all the time. A victim of a crime only has one act, civil court. That's it. So for anybody thinking or saying, why did they go to the police? Why they always after money? All the other crap you guys always are saying. No, if you're a victim of a crime, your only avenue is civil court. Now, can you tell the police? Can you report the crime to the police? Of course, but you have zero control over that. None. You don't have any control over the investigation. You have no control over whether the state prosecutor will accept to prosecute the case. You have no control even if they do decide if they take it to trial, or even if they decide to give that person a plea bargain. You have zero input in that.
That's why it's important for you to learn the law. I have a criminal justice degree that I'm not using, but that's facts. Learn the facts of what's going on.
Process. Your only input is in civil court, and civil court, of course, is for money. So it's not about, well, why do all the victims always go for money or go to civil court? That's their only avenue.
Again, Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to the crimes alleged in the federal case. His trial is currently scheduled for May of 2025, but many people think that date may be pushed back because more charges could be coming, according to federal prosecutors. And Combs' lawyers have maintained he has never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone. That has been stated in regard to these civil lawsuits. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.
I actually learned something. She said, if you are a victim, the only choice you have is civil. Think about it. So, and these rich folks know that. So what they do is they do whatever they want because they got money. If it go to court, oh yeah, okay, you're guilty. Well, they sued me for $50 million. Well, pay it. All right, what's next? We going to play golf? Stuff like that. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But nah, you don't want to do that to me because, see, I don't mind going to jail. I'm allergic to jail, but I don't mind going to jail for something I believe in. See, let you do something wrong to my mama. It might take me 10, 20 years, but I'm going to get you. I mean, you mean to tell me I went to the police, they ain't do nothing, I done did this, they ain't do nothing, I done did that. You mean to tell me crime does pay? Well, if you go after him, then we going to get you. That's bull. Because you ain't going to know I'm home right now doing reactions, but I'm out there. I'm going to get you, baby. That's what I do. Hey, I see why so many people take matters into their own hands. It's cheaper. It's faster. I'm going to get on up out of here, man. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out. Who goes there? And we got one more. Let me see. See. This is, oh, you know what? They thirsty. This one is, oh my God, how long is this one? 7 minutes. I don't want to hold this one. 7 minutes. I definitely ain't doing no workout back. I think we playing tonight at the Shock Bar. That's crazy. This the last? All right, here we go. Yeah, somebody came past, but they gone. 7 minutes, baby. It's Thursday. Of course you are. I hope we ain't. Well, that's money, so what the heck. I should order some food there. What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. Wait a minute, man. I hope this ain't no clickbait stuff, man. I've been trying to stay away from the clickbait stuff. Justin Bieber exposed Obama and Diddy in court. Disturbing documentary reveals. Oh, Lord. I can tell by the thumbnails, some of these people, that I don't know, we're going to find out. So y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. I'm going to let y'all know about the clickbait and all that. I ain't down with that clickbait stuff and everything. I want facts, baby. I want facts on this puffy stuff. I can't believe this dude all these years. Let's check it out.
In an unprecedented turn of events, Justin Bieber has taken the stand in a high-profile court case that has captivated the public's attention, making serious allegations against two of the most prominent figures in the entertainment world, Barack Obama and Diddy. The courtroom drama reached a fever pitch when Bieber presented shocking footage that he claims documents a series of assaults involving the two stars. This revelation has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, leaving fans, critics, and the media scrambling to make sense of the unfolding scandal. For years, Justin Bieber has been a fixture in pop culture, known for his chart-topping hits, tumultuous personal life, and more recently, his efforts to turn his life around. His transformation from a teen heartthrob to a mature artist has been closely followed, but this latest chapter in his life is far from a redemption story. Instead, it has thrust him into the center of a controversy that could alter the public perception of two legendary figures. Bieber's testimony came during a highly publicized trial that has drawn significant media attention. The case revolves around allegations of abuse and misconduct that spans several years, involving not only Bieber, but also other victims who have come forward to share their stories. As the trial progressed, Bieber's decision to testify against Obama and Diddy added another layer of complexity to the already explosive situation. The courtroom was packed as Bieber took the stand, and the atmosphere was thick with tension. He appeared visibly nervous, yet determined to share his truth. As he recounted his experiences, he detailed a series of incidents that he claims involved both Obama and Diddy. According to Bieber, the footage he presented demonstrated a pattern of disturbing behavior that he felt compelled to expose. The images were graphic and unsettling, leaving many in the courtroom shaken. As the video played, gasps filled the room. The footage, a mix of private gatherings and behind-the-scenes moments, showcased actions that contradicted the public personas of both Obama and Diddy. Viewers witnessed scenes that were shocking and hard to digest, raising serious questions about the integrity of the individuals involved. This was not the polished image that fans had come to admire. Instead, it revealed a darker side that many were unprepared to confront. The fallout from Bieber's testimony was immediate and overwhelming. Social media erupted with reactions, as fans and critics alike struggled to process the implications of what they had just witnessed. Supporters of Bieber praised him for his courage in speaking out, while others expressed disbelief, unwilling to reconcile the Justin they thought they knew with the allegations he was making. The stark contrast between the beloved public figures and the disturbing behavior shown in the footage created a whirlwind of confusion and outrage. In the days following Bieber's testimony, the media frenzy reached new heights. News outlets scrambled to cover the trial, dissecting every detail of the footage and Bieber's claims. Headlines screamed with sensationalism, framing the story in a way that captured the public's attention but also raised ethical questions about the coverage of such sensitive material. The focus shifted from the legal proceedings to the personalities involved, with fans questioning the integrity of both Obama and Diddy. Meanwhile, Obama and Diddy both maintain their innocence, with legal teams working diligently to refute Bieber's claims. Obama, known for his eloquence and charm, addressed the allegations directly in a press conference, expressing his shock and disappointment at the accusations. He emphasized his commitment to justice and vowed to cooperate fully with the investigation, insisting that the footage had been taken out of context. Diddy, too, took to social media, posting a series of statements asserting his innocence and calling for a thorough investigation. As the trial progressed, additional witnesses came forward, bolstering Bieber's claims. Former associates and friends of both Obama and Diddy provided testimonies that echoed the disturbing patterns described by Bieber. Their accounts painted a picture of an environment where abusive behavior was not only tolerated, but, at times, encouraged. The courtroom buzzed with tension as the testimonies unfolded, each one adding weight to Bieber's allegations. The impact of Bieber's testimony rippled through the entertainment industry, forcing many to confront uncomfortable truths about the culture surrounding fame and power. Conversations about accountability, abuse, and the need for systemic change gained momentum as more individuals felt empowered to share their experiences. The revelations prompted discussions about the responsibility of public figures to uphold ethical standards, emphasizing that no one, regardless of their status, is above reproach. As the trial neared its conclusion, the public remained glued to the proceedings. The combination of celebrity intrigue and serious allegations created a perfect storm of interest that few could ignore. Fans of Obama and Diddy grappled with their admiration for these iconic figures, torn between loyalty and the disturbing evidence presented in court. The emotional toll was evident as supporters expressed their conflicting feelings on social media, struggling to reconcile the two sides of their idols. Ultimately, the case came down to the jury's decision.
Okay, so far we more than halfway through this, and we ain't got no type of facts. We ain't got nothing to go on. We just what happened? What a bunch of wording so far.
As they deliberated, the weight of Bieber's testimony lingered in the air, a constant reminder of the power dynamics at play in the world of celebrity. The verdict would not only determine the fates of Obama and Diddy, but also serve as a litmus test for society's willingness to hold powerful figures accountable for their actions. On the day the verdict was announced, anticipation filled the courtroom. Bieber sat anxiously, flanked by his legal team, as the jury filed in. The tension was palpable as the foreperson read the decision. The outcome shocked many, confirming the allegations against both Obama and Diddy. The verdict sent shockwaves through the entertainment world, forever altering the legacies of these two iconic figures. In the aftermath, the fallout was immediate and profound. Both Obama and Diddy faced significant repercussions, including public backlash, loss of endorsements, and a tarnished reputation. The once celebrated figures now stood at the center of a scandal that would forever mark their careers. The case prompted a broader conversation about the accountability of public figures and the importance of believing survivors. For Justin Bieber, the verdict was both a personal triumph and a painful reminder of the struggles he had faced. He had taken a stand against powerful figures, risking his career and reputation to expose the truth. While the journey had been fraught with challenges, Bieber emerged as a symbol of resilience, inspiring others to speak out against abuse and injustice. As the dust settled, the conversation shifted from the trial itself to the broader implications of what had transpired. The entertainment industry began to reassess its culture, recognizing the need for systemic change to prevent abuse and support survivors. Advocacy groups gained momentum, pushing for policies that would hold powerful figures accountable and create safer environments for all.
I don't know. My name Leonard. I ain't in it. I gotta do some more research and figure out this. If this is clickbait, I'm going to make a list of. This would be YouTube channel number 2. I don't like this clickbait stuff, man. It's that means you're intentionally spreading some bull. That's what I'm, and I think, yeah. Man, I can't. Yeah, I think this, I don't know. Well, we'll find out, man. Only thing I know is
in the ever-evolving world,
one of the things that I do remember, I'm trying to see something real quick, most popular. Yeah. Your news uncensored. Yeah. This is the second biggest video on his channel. So I'm checking stuff out, man. Nah, man. I don't. I'm put to you like this. I'm like Tim. I believe this like 5%. I believe this from 5%, man. One of the things I do remember is when Obama first ran for president, Puffy was out there marketing, promoting, and pushing vote. He had all kinds of campaigns and all kinds of stuff he was pushing. I do remember that. Now, why he wanted to get Obama it as president, who knows? You know, I don't think look, I'm down with Obama not doing nothing stupid like that. You know, in fact, I'm down with a lot of these people, but you never know. You never know. People saying that if somebody is more high ranking than Puffy on some of these tapes, and they wouldn't say if it was a male or female. So we don't even have that divide. Like if they would have said, well, it's a male, then we would have had all these people to go by. They said, or it's a female. Then we talking about Oprah and all them people, because Oprah has been mentioned a lot of times too. So right now, we still up in grabs. You know, this channel right here, I ain't trying to put out nothing out there that ain't right. So y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out. I don't know about that one, man. This is clickbait. Trial doesn't start. I'm not putting this one out. Okay. Maybe you can edit and save it or something. Anyway, we cleared the board. I'm going to text these. Ooh, I done cut the whole thing off. I'm going to text these people and 1, 2, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Diddy's World. 20. 20 videos. I came and did these because oh shoot, that's the wrong one. Oh man. Reactions. There we go. I came and did these because the money is going up a little bit and we trying to pay you, man. What's it, 10, 20? 1024. Seven Diddies. All right, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.